Hi guys, what's going on? And welcome back to another episode of Conqueror's Blade. So today we're going to take a step back to the chivalric era and take a look at the Squires. These guys here, the Silver Era unit. The one I did actually touch on them briefly in a video not long after they first came out, but I don't think I really did them justice, and I learned a bit more about them since, and I think I can probably do bit of a better review or give them a slightly fairer review than I think I probably did last time. So for me, having played them a lot more recently, I find them to be the perfect sort of average unit. They fulfill a lot of roles. They're a decent all-round unit with a good charge, and because of that, I think they kind of work well, and they're a unit I kind of enjoy bringing into my roster as when you're not really sure what you want to achieve. You don't know if you're trying to get above someone to use your ranged, or if you're trying to make a specific push to a point, or you just in that middle point of the siege where everyone's still milling around. That's when I find they excel, because you can find people out of position, get those charges off, and do a really good amount of damage. So, as a unit, they only have the one ability, obviously, the charge, but a lot of the veterancy bonuses work towards the charge. In fact, let's go and have a look at the one in the barracks, if we can find them. Too many units. And you can see I've been working my way here down the bottom line. So reduced charge cooldown, charge duration, and then basically charge damage increases again, and some cooldown decreases. And then we also get this post-charge damage increase, which is really quite nice. That's going to give it quite a decent, a 24% increase to damage after the charge. So they get they slam in, do lots of damage with the charge, and then they immediately have a higher hit afterwards. And then we also get an increased charge damage as well once we go on. I also find they seem to have a pretty decent block, which is kind of nice, as well as a fairly decent health value. The armor values aren't that amazing. 420 and 480 for a 3.5-star unit doesn't necessarily stack up all that well. They're going to take pretty good amounts of damage when they start getting hit by stuff. So they will suffer against range, but they do have that very long charge. That means you can close in and kill ranged units pretty quickly, particularly if you can catch them out of position. Yeah, that's kind of my summary. That's how I feel about them mostly. Their actually attacking values are really not too bad. So as I say, they just sort of fall into that average. They're just the ultimate middle of the road unit. They don't excel in one specific area except their charge, which is one of their key points. And they're just that middle of the road sort of unit. I've bumped up their piercing defense, as well as their slashing armor penetration and damage a little bit, and I just had a couple of low tier crappy doctrines I just threw on them to give them a little bit of extra health and stuff like that. Didn't think it would do any harm. If I get anything better, I'll take these off and replace them. So yeah, let's actually hop into some battles with them, have a little bit of a look at some gameplay, and hopefully I can highlight this charging based gameplay where you get in, use that charge to get the initial damage off, and then because you've got some kills with the charge, you then transition into this damaging attack and just finish them off between these squires and your hero. So I shall see you all in the battle. So into our first siege, we are pushing in. I've just respawned back in. This is my second life, and we're coming in under the B point. The ram's already been in nicely and cleared the gate out, so we've got a clear way in. And I'm just dragging the squires towards me, not really paying that much attention. Notice I start getting hit, and look ahead, we've got loads of domain arbalists, crossbowmen. So I quickly think, oh, opportunity. Drag the guys in, set them on a charge. Remember, they've got a really long charge, so you can charge early. And yeah, that went about as well for the crossbows as you expect. The entire unit just got absolutely annihilated. Unfortunately for me, however, though, we immediately then run into a unit of muskets on the point. And obviously my charge is on cooldown, which is a bit unfortunate. One of the things you really need to be aware of with these squires. It does get better as you keep going down that veterancy line. But yeah, I felt a bit unfortunate there. We do clear out the muskets, we do take some losses doing it, but unfortunately a couple of enemy heroes turn up with a unit of iron cap swords, charge me in the back. I try and pin that spear down just to get some damage in, but unfortunately not enough, and I end up dead. And the rest of the unit slowly gets picked off. So that's one thing I found. You've got to be careful of that charge cooldown. It does annihilate enemy ranged units in one, but you can get caught on a cooldown. But they still have the block and the armor to push on and get the kills anyway, but you do take much more casualties doing it. So onwards to the second battle. And for this one, I'm looking at the mill pool, and I thought my plan was to vaguely clear my way round. So push round from this point, try and clear everything out and push on towards A. I think maybe in hindsight I would have been better off going straight to A. but kind of it developed the way it did. We're already a man down. So I come up behind these guys, activate my charge, and you can see the amount of criticals we get here, charging in at the back. Look at all that yellow, glorious. We get a ton of kills and start to continue push in, and that's against a unit of enemy squires. So if you charge into the, if you win the charge on enemy units, you do a good amount of damage, even against other squires. So at this point, I'm kind of thinking I'm trying to use my hero basically to control enemy heroes. And at the same point, I think this highlights one of the issues with squires, is they really could do with a cover commander. In that sort of situation, a cover commander would have made that so much better because of the way they're spaced out in that sort of attack like that. Once that charge has worn itself out, you end up blocking into a narrow wall and you can't really get round the enemy. And because of the quite big spacings between the units, you can't really apply that much damage that quickly in a way that something, say, like a spear sergeant would be able to or something. So that's just kind of a bit of a weakness I found. I wish they had a cover commander. So anyway, I keep trying to push in. I'm trying to clear my way through to A. Unfortunately, I was too slow. That's kind of my point of I should probably have gone to A at the start. But we do slam into these units of javelins and do a good amount of damage in the initial charge. You can see the kills are starting to rack up pretty high. But as we do that, you can see there's 5 or 6 enemy heroes there. A is already lost now, and I was kind of thinking, well, there's no point throwing my life away and the unit of the Squires away, fighting in a losing battle there, because I'm not even trying to hold a point. So I decide, sort of, sod it, I'm going to pull out, retreat, and head back to the supply point, and we managed to actually get out with 22 units, so not too bad. And we kind of hop onto the supply point, go for a bit of a heal, just kind of get the unit back up to health a little bit as I'm thinking about what I'm doing. I noticed we got a little bit of cap on B where there was just one guy going for a little sneaky cap, so I decided to leave the unit on the point to heal up. And then after that I was thinking, where to next? We want to kind of push on and up to B and be ready to support if we kind of get attacked. Although we haven't lost either supply point at the moment, so I was kind of umming and ahhing a little bit. And obviously you've got to get stuck in with these guys really, because that's what they're all about then. They're not a very passive unit. They're all about making use of that charge. So you can see this is where I get a little bit confused or a little bit unsure kind of what I wanted to do. I was looking sort of for some easy kills really, particularly while the enemy weren't making any sort of real definitive push onto B. I was trying to think, if I can find sort of an easy-ish fight, maybe just get a few kills, clear out a unit that we'd have to deal with later on. But I couldn't really find anything. You can see sort of I was looking around, checking the different side passages and stuff, looking for something to target, but you can see my confusion here at the moment. Then I noticed there was kind of a big push on the other supply point. I should maybe have headed over that way earlier, but generally speaking, that supply point is very hard to hold. So I wasn't sure it would be worth trying to just throw myself away to try and get that. I come out here, I'm still thinking maybe there'll be something pushing around here. There's normally always a ranged unit, an enemy ranged unit sort of loitering around here or something. And then I kind of noticed up on the wall above me, there's an enemy hero and a flag of an enemy unit. Kind of wasn't fully sure what it was, but I thought, there's something there. Let's go and have a look while there's not so much going on a B point. So we kind of push up a little bit and kind of come up here and take a little bit of a look what it is. It actually is a ranged unit, but it's actually already been pretty well diminished by our allied longsword. So I just get to go in for the kill and let the unit go to work on the enemy hero. Obviously he just gets surrounded and cut down pretty quickly. Again, cover commander would have been handy in that sort of situation. So I decided, well, let's keep pushing around the walls, keep on shimmying my way around to see if we can find anything else to kill. Because if you can get behind the main enemy push like this, I often find you can end up finding units of enemy archers. Well, unfortunately, it wasn't to be this time. It can be quite an effective tactic, because if you can find a unit of archers with these guys and get a clean charge off, as you saw at the start, it can be brutally effective. So this basically brings this battle to the end. I'm going to get caught out badly in a minute, and it's going to go a bit wrong. But this video, I think, has done a fair assumption of how I find these squires to be. Really nice charge, pretty middle of the road in everything else. They do good damage, but not amazing, other than the charge damage. They have reasonable defense statistics. I can't say that word. Statistics, but not amazing. They have good block, but not good armor. So that's how that works. So all in all, I think they make a pretty decent, average, middle-of-the-road unit, but they really aren't anything super special or super amazing. But anyway, hopefully that was kind of a useful review of them and kind of what they're all about. If it was, do let me know what you think of these squires in the comments down below. Of course, subscribe to the channel for a load more Conqueror's Blade content. Thanks for watching, guys, and I shall see you all on the next video.